adjust this a little bit so you can get.
Hello and happy Valentine's Day. Since it's the day of love or the day of couples and relationship stuff like that, I figured I would do a new individual episode. Also, it's taken me a long time to do all these fucking goddamn edits. So mainly because of the reason that I'm doing the face cam now is because doing the podcast and then trying to add in old footage to cover up the space. I tried doing some different stuff. It all looked terrible, so I just went back to just using old PUBG footage, but I only have so much old PUBG footage. I'm also not good at PUBG, so I was like, I probably should stop putting that on there. I'm not good at many video games either, so it's not like I had like a lot of things to replace it with. So I think for the individual episodes I'll do a face cam, just because it seems easier. Hopefully you guys like it. If you guys don't, I'm probably gonna do it anyway because it's easier for me. So I wanted to talk about a story. A story that I think is going to answer a lot of questions that I had personally. And maybe some of you guys did. Because I figure that most people watching this on Valentine's Day are my close friends who have been waiting for a podcast episode for about a month. I've been really bad with those. But I promise you, there's some coming out soon. I've been putting in some work trying to get these bad bitches out. And they're coming out. They're coming out. They'll be coming out pretty soon too. I'm not gonna fucking wait a week. I'm just gonna put them out whenever I finish them. So, how do I start this off? You know, to start this story off, I have to tell a story. A story that I've probably told on a podcast, but who cares? I mean, it's my podcast. You don't like the story, you can skip ahead. So, how do I put this? So, around the time that I broke up with my serious girlfriend at the time, I was kind of just chilling, and I met this girl in one of my classes, a psychology class, and she, God, this is gonna be difficult. But basically, we started talking just randomly. Like I thought that she might have been into me, so I started talking to her. We exchanged emails, and then from emails, I got her number. We sat next to each other in class every day. We talked. She took my Snapchat. We snapped, talked, everything. Like, you're pretty close. She's pretty cute. I was kind of concerned because, like, she was from the same area as my ex at the time, and my ex was crazy. I thought she might have been, like, a plant, you know? Because, like, my ex would be like... Because my ex would text me all the time. So, like, my ex would text me, hey, my car broke down. And she'd, like, tell me, like, how her car broke down and, like, she needs to, like, get it replaced. And then also that, like, one of her relatives was, like, sick. She'd tell me that, right? And then the next day at my psychology class, the same girl had told me the same thing. Like, she'd be like, yeah, my car broke down, too. The same reason. And also she had another relative that was also sick or, like, something like that. So I was sketched out, but I was like, fuck it, you know. I'm not doing anything. I'm not like I'm dating this girl. I'm just talking to her, so it doesn't matter. Let's fast forward a bit. I talked to her for a bit. Things don't really go anywhere. I find out that she's like kind of dating some dude. So I kind of back off. The semester ends, and a new semester begins. And as the semester's beginning, I start talking to this girl, different girl. We're going to call the first girl from my psychology class, we're going to call her... Freud. Yeah, we'll call her Freud girl. It's kind of it's going to be hard for me to say because I have bad speech, but we'll call her P girl for psychology. Yeah, that's it. P girl. So P girl's the first girl. The second girl I meet, we're going to call her L girl. L girl. Which will become apparent later, but it's not that big of a deal. Kind of funny. So I started talking to this girl. Let's call her L girl. Talking to L girl, and we hit it off. We exchanged like numbers and stuff. and it kind of like goes, but it doesn't really go anywhere. But we keep in touch, kind of. Same time, the new semester begins, and I get into the next psychology class, and by some miracle, P girl is in the same class. She like runs up, she hugs me. She's like, "Oh my god, Michael," and I'm like, "Yo, I did not think we were at like hugging level." You know, it's kind of like I thought we were at like you sit next to me and we talk, and then that was like the level we were at. But now, I guess we're at hug level, which I'm all for. I like a good hug, and she's hot, so you know. So I start sitting with P girl. At the same time, my roommate's one of my roommate's girlfriends is in the same class, and so it's P girl, my roommate's girlfriend, and me, all of the same psychology class. We sit together and we're like, you know, just chilling and stuff like that. Around like the second week of the semester, I'm starting to feel like P girl has broken up with her boyfriend, and maybe she's like into me now. And, like that's why she's so like touchy and stuff. Like she would do things like she would like say like, "Oh, I like your outfit," or she'd like compliment me a lot, which is rare for a dude. If you're a dude, you don't get compliments that often or for free. So I was always like, "Oh shit," you know, like she's got to be into me, because why would you even pretend, you know? So I was like, oh, okay, she's got to be into me. And then she like the what tipped the scale was this girl was like, "Hey, my birthday is this weekend." It was like a weekend that I was also free. She was like, "Do you want to come over like for my birthday, like to my birthday party?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, hell yeah," you know. And she's like, "You can bring whoever you want," and I was like, "Sure," you know. And I was like, "All right, dope. I'll bring like my roommates. It'll be chill. I'll hit her up. I'll like flirt with her. Maybe you know, I'll get like a nice new girlfriend and stuff." At this point, I'd figured out that she might not be related to my ex, just like weird coincidences. So at this point, me and L girl are kind of like on the downswing. Like she isn't like talking to me as much, and I'm kind of like, I guess she's not into me. It's whatever. So I get ready to go to this party, and it's like on like a blizzard. Like I think there was a blizzard that day, and like the roads were icy as hell. Snow was everywhere. It's like packed up. I think we had like 10 inches of snow this day. And my roommate and his girlfriend, they don't want to go to the party. And I'm like, shit. My other roommate, Matt, is like, yeah, I'll go. Fuck it, you know? Because he knew about the girl, and he was like, I gotta see this girl. I gotta see, like, what this is all about. And so, me and him, we hop in his car, blast music up, we're rolling to the party, you know? It's about to be a thing. Drink break, sorry. I was hanging out with a cat today, and I think I'm having an allergic reaction, so I'm sorry in advance. Shit. So yeah, we get to the party, and it's like, it was hard because like the car was like sliding everywhere, and like we could barely find a parking spot. So we get to the party, and we're like, fuck yeah, we're finally here. Walking the party, me and my roommate Matt, we're kind of like short dudes. Like he's like 5'7", I'm 5'6", and like we walk in. It's just tall, like, you know, like the classic, like Netflix romantic movie type dudes are like packed in this fucking apartment. I'm like, yo, is this the right place? And like and like the girl who invited me is there, and she's like, oh hey Michael, hey, what's up? And like the dude's there because they're funny. They're like, you want some shrooms? And they hand me like what looks like a shroom. And then they laugh, like, it's not shrooms, I'm just messing with you, you know, ha, and I'm like, oh yeah, fuck you, you know. So that's like how that starts off. And the girl that I came to see, P girl, is she's being like chatted up by like this dude who's like on her. Like if I could like put it into like easy to describe terms, it's like shit. There's a bobblehead I have of Gene Keady. Gene Keady is the namesake of the Purdue Stadium. That's all I really need to know. Don't sweat anything else about him. You can look him up if you want. So let's say this is her, right? In my hand is the dude, right? So like when I got to the party, like they were like this, just like this. As soon as I walked in and she started like talking to me and she like went back to her seat, he was like, yo, like this, dog, like this, like he was like up on her, and I was like, oh, so it's like that, you know? And I was like, oh, okay. And like she introduced me to like her roommate, who was also hot, not gonna lie. And I think her name was like, I'm gonna say S. Let's call her S, but don't sweat. Don't forget her name. Her roommate's also hot. So me and my roommate Matt, we're just chilling, playing beer pong, and he's like, oh yeah, this is cool. And I'm like, I'm sorry, Matt. I thought this was gonna be like different. And like in my brain, I was new to the party, and it's gonna be like one of those scenes in like a movie, like a goofy movie, where they're like, oh, the girl definitely likes me, you know? It wasn't like that at all. So we're just chilling, playing beer pong, just me and Matt playing beer pong with like these other dudes. And then like we start talking to some of the other guys, we find out that like the reason that there's all these dudes and like there's I didn't mention this. There's like 3 girls here and like 25 dudes. All kind of like looking like tall, like romantic comedy type dudes, you know, like those types. And we find out that the reason there's so many dudes is because the not roommate actually, that girl, S girl, P girl's friend, basically got on like Bumble, matched with as many dudes as she could as possible because she's like, you know, kind of hot. And then she told all of them to come to this party. So we came to a party where 90% of the dudes that were there trying to fuck, right? They all came there trying to fuck the birthday girl's friend. And so we're chatting with some of the dudes, and they're like, yeah, dude, like, this is lame. Like, they're like, we gotta bounce, you know? And I'm like, yeah, I feel like we gotta bounce, too. And I don't know these guys, so I'm like, yeah, I was like, I would just go home. Like, me and Matt can just go back home, we'll chill. But this dude, he's like really into us. I don't know why. He's like, you guys seem pretty dope. Let's go to this house party I invited to, because like he's a hot dude. So he's like, I got invited to like, tons of house parties, and he proved like I'm not saying that he's hot because I think he proved that he was hot because he pulled out his phone, and this is how I know that I'm not an attractive guy, because he pulled out his phone, and as he pulled it out, I saw that he had like 7 different fucking notifications from like girls. I only have one Snapchat. It's from like my buddy in Puerto Rico. But he had like 17 of these fucking things, all from girls, all girl names, right? Like Jessica, Suzanne, fucking Emily, all those fucking names on there, right? And then he opened them and he was like, this girl's like, when are you gonna come fuck me? And he's like, I'm not. You know, because I live here, and like she's in like fucking Ohio, and I was like, how does he even? I don't even know how you would get to a point where you would get to talk to a girl in Ohio, let alone have her want you to fuck her from like hundreds of miles away. So that's like the way I can prove to you that I'm not just saying that he's hot. He was a hot dude, right? And he's also like, he tried to like stunt. He was like, yeah, I don't even know why I matched with her. She was a miswipe, you know, it was a miswipe. Because, like, he was trying to say that even the hot friend, gross to him. She was below him. Anyway, he's like, you guys seem dope. We should go to, like, another party. And I was like, yeah, sure. Like, you know, like, a thing you're like, yeah, we should totally hang out, right? That thing everyone does. Except with me, I have this weird thing where, like, I have a desire to just do things. I was like, you know, fuck it. Let's do it. Let's just fucking go to this party with this guy. So, at this point, I'm like just trying to figure out like when I should leave. And as I'm like watching the party, I see the roommate of the birthday girl go into a back room with a guy. And I'm like, oh, they're gonna go like, you know, do some things. But she doesn't close the door, so I can see what looks like just softcore porn happening in like that room. And I'm like, this is too much. I think it's about time that I get ready to go. But I'm like, I can't say goodbye without like telling the girl who invited me that I'm leaving. Then I said the girl that invited me, the birthday girl who I thought was into me, go into the bathroom with the guy who was like fucking like on her, just fucking like just on her. They go into a bathroom together, and I'm like, well, I think it's time for me to peace out. So me and my roommate Matt and this guy whose name's Fahim. I'll say his fucking name because fuck it, he doesn't care. His name's Fahim, and we go out and we go to this random party that he got invited to, and it's like an actual like house party. So there's like tons of people there. It's a better guy to girl ratio. By this point in the night, like I'm not trying to like talk to anyone. I'm just like, here for the ride. I'm drinking, just chilling. My roommate is drinking and chilling. He's like having a great time. I've really turned it around for him, and yeah, it's just like we're at like a weird house party. Like stuff happens. And at this point, I'm like, I should just fucking send a text to L girl because I'm fucking drunk a little bit. And I'm like, hey, L girl, how's it going? She's like, oh my god, Michael, how are you? I'm like, I'm great. I'm at like a party. She's like, me too. And I'm like, that's crazy. And she's like, it's not crazy because it's like a Saturday. I mean, what else people fucking do when they're just... I should say that. It's not like what else people would do on Saturday besides go to parties. It's just like during this point in the school year, like a party on Saturday for like is like an easy thing to go to is what I would say. I don't know how to like put that without it sounding weird, but yeah, like Saturday is like people are usually out, especially since I was like 21 at the time. Like I usually wasn't home on Saturdays. I don't think. Oh man. So I'm like, hell yeah. She's like, by the way, like I know we've like talked for very much recently. Like, can we like hang out? And I was like, oh yeah, for sure. Like whenever you want. She's like, tonight? And I was like, oh, yeah, for sure. And I'm like, I was like, oh wait, but I'm like, I was buzzed at this point. My roommate's like definitely drunk, but he was like, no, actually, I'm not that drunk. And I'm like, oh shit. And I was like, do you want to pick up this girl for me so we can like hang out? And he's like, yes. So we go and pick up L girl, and to make a long story short, she comes over to my place. We don't do anything. We just kind of like watch a movie and we cuddle. And I mean, like, I shouldn't say we don't do anything. She grabs my dick, and then like that was pretty dope, honestly. And then we just like cuddle and go to sleep together. Like we don't like do any like sexual things. We're just like chill. And then when she like when the next morning comes, I take her back home, and she's like, we should definitely like hang out, with like winky face, like hang out. Like I mean, she wanted me to put my penis inside of her. For those of you that didn't know, that's what she wanted. And at this point, I was like, yeah, sure, because she was hot. I'll be honest, she was hot. She had a big old ass, and I mean that's what I'm into. Yeah. So I think like a week goes by, and like we like set a day, and she comes over to watch a movie. It's like 2 a.m. and I think what happened was like she came over, and I was like just talking, and like she was like, I'm sorry we didn't do anything that day I came over. I was like, oh no, you're fine. She's like, I just got like scared, and I was like, what? And she's like, because I'll tell you guys this, I have a wide girth. I have a lot of girth. It's not long. It's not like big. It's just meaty. It's just like thick as fuck, right? So when she grabbed my dick, she was like, I'm not putting that in me. Like that's basically what she said. And she said I had to like prepare myself. And I don't know what that means to this day. I don't know what that means. Anyway, we hooked up that night. It was pretty dope. It was a good time. 2 thumbs up. It was a great time. One of the more memorable times in my life. I definitely would like to see her more, and I really like talking to her too because we talked like a lot beforehand and after that. And I was like, thinking I should probably ask her on a date. So I asked her on a date, and then she like, what happened is she'd do that thing where I'd ask her on a date, and she'd kind of just like ghost me, or she'd like disappear. And I was like, it's fine. Maybe she's just like feeling weird. And then like she'd like call me up again to like at like 2 a.m. to hang out. I mean, and I did it because I'm fucking, I'm fucking degenerate. And she's hot. So We hooked up a couple times, and at this point I was like, I guess she just want to like actually date me. She just kind of like wants the peen, which it hurts a little bit because you're like, I mean, I guess I'm not cool personality wise, but I guess my penis is satisfying, which is okay. Anyway, it's really empty feeling. I'll tell you that right now for free. So, after that, I kind of like just like don't put as much effort in, like meeting up with her. Like I remember one time, this is hilarious to me because I think about it all the time whenever I think about her. One time, I was fucking playing PUBG with my friends, and she sent me a text at like 1 a.m., like 1:30 or 2 a.m., asked if she'd come over, and I was like, because I'm playing video games with my friends, and I was like, oh yeah, sure, but I was mid-game PUBG, and if you ever play PUBG, you know that those games can go anywhere from like 10 minutes to like an hour, and I was like, oh, I'll finish this game. I told her I was coming, and I just kept playing PUBG. And then I remembered when the match was like, oh shit, I gotta go. And I checked my phone, and she's like, are you still coming? Because it had been like 30 minutes. And I pulled up, I got her. She came over to my place, we hooked up. And then that time was hilarious because I forgot that my other roommate, Nick, his parents are coming over to visit. And when I opened the door to like take her home, just his parents were just on the couch, and I was like, shit, they must think I am a degenerate. I just have this girl that I hooked up with in my fucking bed that I'm taking home. Yeah. So that's not even the beginning of the story. That's kind of like just like the background that you need. So after that exact night, the night that was the PUBG night, L girl, she like texts me one day, and this is the part that I get dogged for relentlessly. She texts me and she says, "Hey, I'm sorry to tell you this, but I have head lice, and you might wanna like clean your bedding. I'm sorry." Yeah, this girl had fucking lice. That's why I call her L girl for lice. Lice girl, right? All my friends know her as Lice girl. And that's just my luck, The hot girl that I hook up with casually has fucking lice. Great, right? So, the funny thing about that was, when she came over that last time, the PUBG time, I got like a weird feeling. I just didn't feel... I just felt like weird. And I was like, you know what? I think I'm going to wash my bed sheets. just like as soon as she left, I washed my bed sheets immediately. I dropped her off, came back home, took my bed sheets off, and put them in the washer. I was like, I'll just fucking wash them. I don't know why. And then I remember, I remember why. It's actually way grosser than that. I felt weird. I remember I got home, like after dropping her off, and I went to sit back at my computer to like do something. And then next to my computer was my trash can. And in my trash can was the condom that I like chucked. Chuck that bad boy in the trash can. Wrap up, kids. Stay safe. And the condom had blood on it, like all on it, like it was blood. Like I was like, oh fuck, dude. And I was like, I had to wash my sheets, so I just took all the sheets off, and I washed them, like all of them. And I'm glad I did that because she had lice, and I guess whatever I did, I managed to make sure that I didn't get any fucking lice. So. Here's the thing though, right? How bad was the lice? Because that's the question that people always ask you, like how bad? Because like maybe she like had like a little bit of lice. No, they were bad. They were so bad. She had to go to Indy, the state capital, to see a specialist to get rid of her lice. Like it was that bad. And then I'll be honest with you, I felt kind of bad for her because like it must be embarrassing to like not to like have lice, but not only have lice, but like to have to tell a guy that you're hooking up with that like you have lice. So, like, she was right on. Like, as soon as she got back, she was like, do you want to hang out? And I was like, Jesus Christ, dude. Like, it like she told me on like a Wednesday, she went out to get like her lice treated like Sunday, and that on like Saturday, right? And then that Sunday that she got back, she texted me like, "Do you want to hang out tonight?" Like legit, like it was like immediately, and I was like, "Yeah." I mean, I felt like this always comes out weird, whenever how I put it. I felt like it's easy for someone to like do something like get lice and then not tell the person that they were hooking up with that they have lice, and then you get lice, right? It was so easy for her to do that, right? And I appreciated the fact that she like had the human decency to be like, "Oh yeah, I have lice. I had lice. You should probably wash your sheets. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry." And I know you're probably like, "No, I think a lot of humans would do it." No, they wouldn't. I've met a lot of girls, especially around here, and they're terrible people, horrible people, horrible. So I was like, you know what? She's cool people. Honestly, I kind of fuck with the fact that she told me that she had lice and didn't just leave me to just get fucking lice, you know? It's all, I mean, you know, also I didn't like, yeah. So, I did hang out with her that night. And, that was like, I think one of the last times we actually hung out. Like, after that, like, we talked and she was like, I'm so sorry. The weird thing was, I feel bad for this now, because when she came over, I was still kind of like, so I put on like a hat. I had like a beanie on the entire time. The entire time, a beanie. Just a beanie on. And I had dreads this time too, so like if I had gotten lice, it would have been like over. Because it would have been like, I'd have to like shave my entire head. There was no helping it. Like if I had lice with this amount of hair, it's not that big of a deal because like I don't have like that much hair. I could just shave it. But with like dreads, it took me so long to get them, and I was so prideful of them. I was like, fuck it, I'm not getting fucking lice. I'm not fucking shaving my fucking head. I am going to just wear a hat, and I did. And I'm sure that she probably like realized it. I don't know how she felt about it. Probably felt a little shitty, but I mean, I want no fucking lice. I'll tell you. So yeah, after that, we had like a really good conversation. And then like, I remember afterwards, I was like, I'll try again. I'll try to like take her on like a date. And then like afterwards, she just kind of like radio like silence. Like she just kind of just disappeared for like years, like legit like 2 years, to the point where I was like, man, this sounds weird. But I was like, man, I kind of want to talk to Lice Girl. You know, I would just have those thoughts. I kind of wonder what Lice Girl's up to, because she was. For a girl who had lice, she was pretty dope to talk to. Like she was actually pretty chill. We had like a lot of stuff in common, and you know, I had a lot of good laughs with her. We watched a lot of movies too, so she was pretty dope. So yeah, like years go by. Like I go from like 21 to like 22, and like I'm still trying to like be like, hey, you want to go on like a date? And she like. She would like say yeah and then like disappear in the ether, or she'll like randomly text me at like 4 a.m. and be like, "Can I come over?" I'm like, "Shit, dude, it's like 4 a.m. You know, sorry." No, I'm joking. What did happen was she would text me at like 4 a.m. but I'd be like out cold. So then what happened was I would just stay up really late, like just in case she'd text me. But it never really worked out like that, which is kind of fucking pathetic when I think about it. But you know, it's me. Yeah, so that goes on for like a year, and then I get the feeling, and then I kind of find out that she's like seeing someone, so I'm like, I guess I can just like give up or whatever. What was I gonna say? Did mention this, but she's like in a sorority, which is also like the weird part was because she was in a sorority, like I had to like drive to like a sorority to pick her up, and like I had to drop her off at a sorority because they have like weird rules. So, like if she left the sorority at like a certain time, if she wasn't back by a certain time, like she couldn't go back. Apparently, I don't know if that was true. I don't know if she just said that so she could spend the night, but that's what I heard from her. Yeah. So years go by, and I start putting myself out there more, and I start going on these dates. And I came to the realization recently that, like, I have this thing where I would always ask girls out on dates, and then the day would come and they just, like, disappear. They just fucking flutter away into the ether. And I just was like, you know what it is? I think I'm just boring. I think I'm just must be a really uninteresting dude. Like, I've got to be, like, crazy boring for, like, girls to, like, because, like, this would happen. Like, I talk to a girl, like, hey, you want to go on a date? And they'd be like, yeah. And then, like, we'd keep talking for, like, a week. Like let's say today is Sunday. And I'm like, do you want to go on a date this weekend? And they're like, yeah, I can. Like, on Saturday. And I'm like, cool. So then I would text or, like, snap or, like, fucking whatever for, like, from, like, Sunday until Saturday. Like, legit until Saturday. And, Sorry. And then when Saturday would come, I'd be like, hey, do you want to hang out? Like we planned. They'd be like, oh my God, I'm so sorry, I forgot. I can't, I'm sorry. I forgot. Oh my God, I feel so bad that I forgot. And I was like, either they're lying or I might be so boring and so uninteresting that even though they're talking to me, they actually forgot that they had any type of plan to hang out with me at all, right? I just figured I was just like a really boring dude. That's what I figured, right? And I was like, that makes sense. Like in my brain, that made more sense than that. Like every girl in the world just lies about wanting to go on dates with me that I've asked. So yeah, that's what I was thinking. And then I'm currently working midnights. So what my sleep schedule is, I go to sleep around like 1 to 2-ish, and I wake up around 10. I get up and I go to work. Then I get up, I go to work, and then when I get off work at like 8:30 in the morning, and then I come home, repeat, right? And the funny thing is, because of it, I don't talk to as many like people anymore, especially not you guys who are listening to this. I don't talk to as many people anymore, and because of that, I end up just missing a lot of messages. So, like, I'll go to sleep at, like, 1, and I'll wake up to, like, just, like, a large amount of messages because I, like, missed stuff. Especially, like, because it's getting close to Valentine's Day, or it is Valentine's Day. A lot more girls have been hitting me up again because they're like, oh, my God, I need a Valentine's Day date. And you're one of those guys I talked to that just kind of fizzled out. But I'm boring, so they kind of just forget about me eventually. They just stop continuing conversation. And I remember I went to sleep one night and I wake up and I get a text from I almost said her name, from Lice Girl. I get a text from Lice Girl that I'm going to read because I want to make sure I read it verbatim because it really shocked me, if that makes sense. Alright, one sec. Yeah, I used to honestly, I used to double text this girl, which is kind of crazy. The last time we talked about was Tiger King, when that was big. And then she responded to me today. Not today. Like a week ago, basically. And she was like, hey, I'm really sorry. It's been so long. I was really nervous, if I'm being honest. But if you're still in West Lafayette, I would love to hook up. By the way, I live in West Lafayette. So yeah, I don't know if you heard that, but I'll say it again, just in case you did. Hey, I'm really sorry it's been so long. I was really nervous, if I'm being honest. But if you're still in West Lafayette, I would love to hook up. And I was like, what? I was like, wait, what? Nervous? Like, what was she nervous for? You know? And I don't know if the other episode's been dropped by now. It should be being dropped pretty soon. Actually, let me just fucking do that now while I'm thinking about... Oh, no, let's not do that now because I'm going to be fucking confused trying to figure that out. But, I've always wanted for when a girl ghosted me to tell me the reason why. You know, I don't really not to so they can shame me and like that, just so I would know. In fact, what I started doing when I moved into this place, that's kind of funny, is whenever I'd get like ghosted or like I'd have like a girl that would like just fucking disappoint me or like just like change plans like super fucking fast, I would decorate my apartment. Like I would get something for my apartment, basically for my bedroom to make it look better. It's just like a way to like keep track for me. We've reached the point now where I have lift this up. I have a projector, a sound bar, fucking you can't see that. Projector, sound bar, a fucking that pull-up bar, the IKEA fucking stand. I got artwork that I'm trying to hang up. I have a lot. It's to the point now where I had to kind of stop because it's getting depressing because I don't have the money to add more to this room at the rate at which I'm being ghosted. So, yeah, I've always wanted a girl to tell me the reason why, just because I'm curious, just wanted to know. And because of that, let me just drop this down a little bit so you guys don't have to look at my fucking coats. And then I'll drop this back. And we're back to business. If I wanted them to know why, and this was the first time that a girl has actually said sorry for ghosting me, and also mentioned that they were nervous. Like it was like, so my response to that was, let me pull up the fucking message. My response was, Jesus Christ, this is super. I said, hey, it's cool. If you don't mind me asking, why were you nervous? Not that you have to tell me. Yeah, I'm still in Lafayette for grad school, and I'd love to meet up. I don't want to say hook up because I honestly just wanted to like just see her again, just to like maybe like go on like a date or hang out. Wasn't really too much looking for hooking up, but it seemed like that's what you wanted. Anyway, so I said to her that I wanted to know like why she was nervous. The reason I said you don't have to tell me is because I feel like a part that I forgot to mention is that the reason I don't ask girls why they ghost me is because it feels kind of weird to ask that, because it feels, I don't know. I don't feel like I'm entitled to know why I'm being ghosted, because, you know, like, you don't have to explain to someone why you're not into them. You don't have to explain why you're not into someone, right? Like, if someone came up to you and they were like, hey, I want to go on a date with you, and you're like, no, you should be able to be like, that's fine, you know? The thing with me is that for ghosting, I kind of want to know the reason, but I know that you don't have to tell me. I don't. That's not something that you owe to me. You can tell me if you want to, and I'd love to have information if that makes sense. I don't feel that it's owed to me to know why you ghost me. I just would like to know. That's what I was basically trying to get at. So she replied and said, "Yeah, no fair." She said, "Yeah, no fair question. I liked hanging out with you, but I wasn't looking for anything serious. And then she said, I know you weren't either, but I just panicked, I guess. I'm sorry about how I handled it. It wasn't cool." Yeah, so I just want to unpack that for a second. So she basically is trying to say that, one second, I just gotta get this. My fucking cups smell like ass. I don't know why. So basically she's saying, it's just so, I still don't really understand what that means, you know? I like hanging out with you, but I wasn't looking for anything serious. I know you weren't either, but I just panicked, I guess. I'm sorry about how I handled it. It wasn't cool. So I guess what it seems like is that she, this is actually fucking sad now I think about it like deeper. It seems to me like she started to like me, and then that scared her. Like, she was like, oh, I do not want to like this guy. And then she fucking ghosted me. And I don't know what's worse. Is it worse to think that I'm really boring, or to think that I'm actually not boring, I'm actually decent, but girls just don't want to like me. It's scary to like me. Pretty depressing, honestly. I guess it's pretty depressing now that I'm like saying it out loud, as I'm alone in my fucking apartment. So yeah. After that, I was like, yeah, we should hang out this weekend because it's Valentine's Day weekend. And I didn't say I just said we should hang out this weekend, and she's like, yeah, I'd love to. I should probably mention that like it seemed weird that she said that I wasn't looking for anything serious, but I guess like I didn't want to say to her that I was interested in her, and then like because for one, she just said that she was panicked by liking me. I don't think saying that, oh yeah, I did like you, but you know, it's years later now. I feel like that would make it even worse. Like she'd probably fucking panic again or whatever. Not that I guess it matters, but I was like, you know, I would just like to like meet her in person because my goal was, if I can meet her in person, I can get her like in person reactions to like some questions, right? Like I was like, that'd be fucking dope if I could be like, if I could have her next to me and be like, hey, how's it going? You said you're nervous? Like, did I do anything that like made you nervous? Like, what? Like, you know, like, what about liking me? Like, threw off where you're like, oh, this guy's like not my type. And I'm like, I'm starting to like him a little bit. Like, that's weird. Or is it like, oh, this guy's like fucking ugly, and like I don't want to like an ugly dude. Like, I just wanted to know what it was. That was my goal. So she says yes, and you have to do that awkward thing where like she said yes for the weekend. I work midnights, and I'm like. And she said that, like, it was, like, Wednesday when she said yes. I was like, oh, okay. So I have Wednesday, Thursday, Friday to, like, just keep this girl entertained, essentially. And by that I mean I have to, like, keep, like, a rapport going for, like, 3 days. Which is, like, the worst part about texting or, like, talking to someone is, like, having to keep conversation going for, like, the days leading up to a date. Because the topics you talk about on the days leading up to a date are topics you can't really use for the date, right? Like you can only ask someone what their favorite movie is so many times, or like what's their hobbies, like, or like how many siblings they have, or like what's their favorite. You can't ask those questions more than once, but you're gonna have to like use some of them up on the days leading up, or whatever. So I'm doing that. I'm like, you know, trying to like keep that up, and I'm like, yeah, Saturday or Sunday, I'm free if you want to hang out and, you know, meet up. She's like, yeah, I'd love to. And Friday, like just before I'm gonna go to bed for my Friday shift, I get a text from her, and she says, "Hey, I'm sorry. I actually don't think I can hang out. I thought I was ready to get back out there, but I'm just not. You're really sweet and fun to hang out with, so please don't think you did anything. I really hope grad school goes well for you." So she canceled. Again. And I was like, damn, you know? I didn't get any answers. Also get a date. I also didn't get to see this girl that I haven't seen in 2 years. It was kind of just like pretty lame day for me. Then I kept thinking, I was like, man. I mean, like, I wondered, like, if I scared her away again, but like, you know, I just wanted to know, like, you know, why she like canceled this time. But I guess she said that she wasn't actually ready to hang out. And because we talked, I know she's like graduating this semester, so like this was the last chance we're ever gonna have to hang out. Because like let's face it, if it took her 2 years to talk to me and like admit that she wants to hang out again, I don't think. Because I don't mean to say like 2 years, because we talked in between like the post lice date and this time, but like the last time we had talked, like in recent, like literally this message came, and the message before that was about Tiger King when that came out, which was like April of 2020. So like almost a year had gone by since last time we talked. Then she graduates this semester. It's pretty safe to say that we probably won't ever see each other again, which is fine. You know, I'm not sweating that too much, but it is interesting that I finally got an answer to why I get ghosted, and the answer is kind of fucking sad, but it's an answer. You know, I guess I can assume that there's some fraction of the girls that ghost me that I legitimately scare or make panic for some reason. So yeah, that was the little Valentine's Day story I wanted to share with you. Because she mentioned that she didn't come over. We didn't hang out. She's not anywhere around here. It's just me. And I ended up buying some glowing light bulbs for this ghosting. I'm gonna put those in, decorate my room. Yeah. What else was I gonna say? But yeah, for this Valentine's Day, I decided I was gonna take myself out on a little home date. I'm gonna get this bad boy projector on. I'm gonna cook a nice little meal in the next couple minutes. Have some wine, and have a good day. Hopefully, you guys are treating yourself on this day as well. Yeah. Have a happy Valentine's Day. That's kind of all I had to say about that. I do think that after this, I've taken enough damage to the heart. I'm like, maybe I should just stop. Just stop dating. I'm not good. I'm not good at dating. There's no merit in me dating at all. Like I originally set out to start dating because I was like, I want to get better at talking to girls. So when I'm in a situation where I really want to talk to a girl, I can do it. But as you have just heard, apparently I'm good. But if she's not into me, if she doesn't want to like me, it doesn't matter. So yeah, I'm bad at dating. I'm definitely bad at dating. So I think I'm gonna stop. Happy Valentine's Day. Treat yourself and your significant other or whoever. And yeah, I'll talk to you soon.